So I agree with what Cinzia and Sarah have said, so I'm not going to try and repeat it. So just to focus on two things. One is on this question of religion, to take a different take. And it relates to what Jess talked about. I didn't know the story before you told it, but I'll tell another story of something that I've been involved in, which is the attempt by Christian fundamentalists in this country to take through the courts the right of people who work in registrar offices not to have to carry out gay marriages because it's against their religion. In my view, we have to oppose any legal restriction and any political restriction that says that you can trade off the rights of one group of people against another group of people. Nobody has the right to discriminate against me. I don't care who they are. I shouldn't have the right to discriminate against them either. And I think it's that sort of the way that the state and the neoliberal state uses those divisions, and actually it comes back to the question of unity, because none of us were born, none of us have ever lived in the situation where unity exists, because capitalism thrives on the divisions between us, and therefore I think unity is not only a process but a project to fight for rather than a given. And it's often quite a difficult process because sometimes some of us that want to be allies come into the battle at different points because of our individual experiences, and that can, as Cinzia says so eloquently, cause many headaches, and I've had them, and I don't doubt I'll have many more as the years go on. So I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that I very much agreed with the sister from Denmark about, and I think other people touched on it as well, of the need to talk about, and I think feminists always have, but I think the left as a whole has to talk about the way that the sexual division of labour and so on is not only oppressive to women, but is restrictive on men. It's clearly something that the LGBTQ movement articulates particularly, but I think it's also true for all men, the demands of what it is to be masculine, which is obviously played out in different ways in different communities and different societies. But I agree with comrades who've argued that, everybody needs to be able to defend the struggle for women's liberation. But I'm sorry if this seems provocative, but we have to also do that in a way that listens to the people who know best. A very famous Irish revolutionary comes out with the slogan which I want on my gravestone, which is none so fit to break the chains as those who wear them. And so when comrades say, for example, it was great in the ANL that we could argue with against racism without a black person in sight, I have a problem with the end of that sentence. Because I think sometimes we don't listen to the fact that we're speaking about people without them, and to question why that's happening. So I think that's also got to be part of our reflection, and that goes back to the thing about caucuses, because part of the point about caucuses is not just to meet on our own, to get rid of some of the headaches and acquire some new ones, but also to come back with renewed energy to make demands on the organisation as a whole, to take its responsibilities. Thank you.